Hello learners, in this lecture we will see what is shrinkage and what are the different types of shrinkage and we'll try to understand them. So in a very general term, if I say what is shrinkage, it's already understood to us by looking at a picture, right? We always done this whenever we have gone to the market to purchase any shirt. The first question that we ask to this guy is whether the shirt is going to shrink or not, and obviously the answer is that he is going to tell it's not going to shrink. And you come home, you put it in the water and you take it out. This is how it's going to look. So what has happened here is a shrinkage. We say that no, the shirt has shrink. The same thing is going to happen in a concrete, right? So with this, we have got an idea what will be the next points regarding the concrete. Yeah. So the volumetric reduction in the concrete is called as shrinkage due to the loss of water by hydration and also by carbonation. The same thing is over there. What we saw in the shirt, the same thing is going to happen in the concrete also. You pour the concrete after some time due to the rapid environment, maybe due to hot sun and due to good speed of a wind, that is a drying wind, your water will get evaporated. As a result of that, slowly there will be cracks in your plastic concrete. So reduction in the volume due to shrinkage causes the volumetric strain. During the process of hydration of the cement paste, reduction in the volume of a cement paste takes place due to the loss of moisture, which causes the shrinkage. The main reason is there is a loss of water. That is the reason there is a shrinkage. Volume change is one of the most detrimental properties of a concrete, which affects the long-term strength and the durability of the concrete. We know that once if there is a crack and all, the durability will come down, the strength is going to come down. Due to shrinkage, the micro cracks are developed in the concrete, and shrinkage is responsible for the development of cracks in floors and pavements, right? And we'll try to see why in floor and pavements only we have problem and not in other structural element like a column and all. The best method for shrinkage control consists in preventing the water evaporation. We know that the shrinkage is happening due to loss of evaporation. We have to just stop that loss of evaporation. So from the concrete, the instant when the compaction of the mix is terminated. So control of this kind is usually done with the help of curing of a hardening concrete. That's the one thing. That is why suddenly whenever we pour the concrete, we tell that as soon as possible we'll try with the curing of my concrete. But there are different types of shrinkage. We understood in a more general way that shrinkage is nothing but a reduction in the volume. So coming to the types, we have plastic shrinkage, then we have drying shrinkage, we have autogeneous shrinkage, and we have carbonation shrinkage. So coming to the plastic shrinkage occurs due to loss of water by evaporation from freshly placed concrete while cement paste is still in plastic state. That means the moment you pour the concrete and after some time, if you see, there will be small cracks in your concrete. So that is called as plastic cracks since your concrete is still in plastic state. Plastic shrinkage is higher at the higher rate of evaporation of water, which in turn depends on the air temperature, the concrete temperature, the relative humidity of the air and the wind. So plastic shrinkage of concrete is higher at a larger cement content, that is smaller the aggregate content by volume of a mix. So the next point is that see this type of shrinkage, that is a plastic shrinkage, is associated with drying when concrete is in plastic state. In dry areas, if evaporation rate exceeds the rate at which the concrete sets, then the plastic shrinkage may occur. That means what do you understand by this point? Let us say you're pouring a concrete now, and your concrete is going to set on one side. Your concrete is going to set based on the temperature what it has. On the other side, there is a rapid blow of wind, that is a dry wind, and there is a very hot temperature. So the rate of water is more compared to the drying rate of your concrete. So because of this, what will happen? There will be small cracks here. There will be reduction in the volume. So in turn, this reduction in the volume will cause the cracks. So that is the reason for having a plastic shrinkage in our concrete. Especially a problem when there is a low bleeding also. Whenever low bleeding in the sense when there is very less water cement ratio and all, again this shrinkage is going to happen. Elements or structure with high surface by volume ratios. Why whenever I say surface by volume ratio, for example, the pavement work, whenever you are seeing the construction of the road, the cement concrete road, the bridge decks are prone to this type of cracking, and also the slab, whenever we try to put the slab, no, these are the problem usually that comes in the concrete structures. Yeah. So you can see the cracks here, right? You can see this concrete is still in the dry condition, but you can see a cracks has happened here, right? So this is how it looks. In case of floors and pavements, when large surface is exposed to hot sun or drying wind, the surface of concrete dries very fast, resulting in the plastic shrinkage because your concrete has not gained the strength. And on the other hand, there is a quick loss of water, which will result in the reduction of your concrete. That in turn will induce the stress that will result in the crack. Sometimes, even if a concrete is not subjected to severe drying, but poorly made with high water cement ratio, large quantities of water bleeds and accumulates at the surface. When this water dries out, the surface concrete collapses, causing the cracks. So this is how that cracks occurs. You can see one more picture here as well. The concrete is freshly placed, and you can see the no, yeah, you can see this kind of cracks, right? Yeah. So these are the map cracking, what you can call, right? These are the crack. Then how do you counteract this cracks? The simple way is that whenever you find this type of cracks, or whenever you feel like it's going to crack, what you try to do, whatever concrete you have poured, try to use this floater and try to take out the water which is there at the top. Try to use this float and make it a small, a kind of a rough surface here, and try to take out the extra water which is there at the surface. So once you do this, no, most of your problem will be solved, and you won't be getting that plastic shrinkage in your concrete. Yeah. Now, what are the causes for the plastic shrinkage? Of course, high water cement ratio, unintended vibration. If you try to do the vibration for a longer period of time, the chances that the water may come at the top, and if the water comes at the top, what will happen? It will come in contact with the atmosphere, and if there is a more evaporation, that water will dry out from there, resulting in the cracks. The next point is the badly proportioned concrete mix. This also results in the plastic shrinkage, yielding a formwork, that is especially when we try to pour the concrete and all, and this concrete will be applying a lateral pressure on the formwork. As a result of that, there are chances your formwork may try to yield, may try to run out from here. So again, as a result of this also, no, the cracks are going to form. Next is rapid drying of concrete. Obviously, if there is it depends on temperature and all. If your temperature is very hot, there is a rapid drying of concrete. This also results in the plastic shrinkage. More cement content. If more cement content is there, more amount of water will be utilized. If more amount of water is utilized, and at the same time there is high temperature, the temperature is very hot, then same that much amount of water will be evaporated. Again, that result in the crack. Next is greater bleeding. If there is more bleeding also, quick loss of water will happen. Since bleeding will happen at the surface level, again that results in the crack. Yeah. So how do you do the prevention of that? This can be reduced by preventing the loss of moisture from the concrete. This can be done by covering the surface with a polythene sheeting immediately on the finishing operation, by a monomolecular coating, by fog sprays that keeps the surface moist, or by working at the night. So the best practice is what we can do, no? Whenever we pour the concrete in the slabs and all, immediately after some time, let us say after some time, 10, 15, 20 minutes, try to cover that with the help of a polythene sheet. You can see these people are covering that with a polythene sheet. So as a result of that, what will happen? The water will not get evaporated, and if the water is not getting evaporated, the chances of this cracks is very less, right? So this is usually what we try to do. If you feel like there are chances of this plastic shrinkage, you can try to cover that with a polythene sheet. The second is that how do you prevent that? By working at the night. That is the reason in most of the construction site, whenever we do the slab casting or what, usually we try to start in the evening time, let us say around 4 o'clock in the evening. So during that time, the temperature will also be less, isn't it? And also the intensity of the wind also will be less. So as a result of that, the fast evaporation is not going to happen. So again, it depends from place to place, right? Suppose if you're working in the southern part of India, and if you go to especially to the Chennai and other part, it is very hot over there, and due to that also there are chances the plastic shrinkage may happen. But the same may not happen in the northern part of India, or let us say if you're doing in somewhere close to northern part of India, where most of the time the temperature will not be very hot, right? So it depends on what time you're doing, what day you're doing, how is the wind velocity and all, right? So based on that, the plastic shrinkage is going to happen. Yeah. The next is a small quantity of aluminum powder may be used to offset the effect of plastic shrinkage. The third is revibrate the concrete in a controlled manner. Revibrate in the sense, sometimes what will happen, the chances of water will come at the top. So try to take it out and do the proper compaction and all, so that you'll have a uniform mix. Right. So this is how we can do the prevention of the plastic shrinkage. Other than that, there are other points also, like reduce the rate of evaporation of water. That is by decreasing the temperature of concrete, placing the concrete rapidly, curing as soon as possible, right? Like you can see it here, no? This is how you try to cover that with the help of polythene sheet, and do curing as quickly as possible. right? And also make sure the evaporation rate should not exceed 1 kg per square meter per hour. How do you do all these things? So this becomes a bit difficult to measure the evaporation and all. What you need to do is parallel you have to keep a glass of water and try to see how much amount of water is getting evaporated. The formula you can try to apply from irrigation engineering. You have the surface area, and based on that you will get that pan evaporation formula and all. You have to try to see how much amount of water gets evaporated. The better way is try to cover that with a polythene sheet. Most of the problem will be solved. Reduction of the cement content by using a complementary materials, utilization of shrinkage reducing admixtures. This also we can try to use. If you feel like there is a lot of shrinkage cracks happening, then you can try to use this. Use of fibers, so this also you can do, especially when we go with the fiber reinforced concrete and all, you can make use of the fibers. So these are the different ways of reducing the plastic shrinkage. So we understood what is shrinkage, what are the types of shrinkage, and also we understood what is plastic shrinkage. We also understood what are the what are the reason for that plastic shrinkage, and also we saw that how to reduce or how to do the prevention of a plastic shrinkage. So in the next lecture we'll try to see what is drying shrinkage, what is autogeneous shrinkage, and other parts of the shrinkage. So we'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.